In this video, I'd like to talk about hope and what I mean by hope, my sort of take on it. But before I go into that, I would like to introduce myself. I am Ghazala at the Heart and Soul Cafe. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I so appreciate it. And if you're here for the first time, thank you for stopping by and welcome. So hope, what does hope mean? Well, if we were to look in the dictionary, we'd sort of see a definition about hope. It would be an expectation, an optimistic expectation about an outcome of something, or for the future. I have shared in many videos that I very sadly lost my son 4 years ago, and as a result of this massive loss in my life, I lost hope. And that's something that I hear again and again and again, because a lot of you, again, I've mentioned quite a few times that I counsel and support women who have also experienced child loss, and I volunteer for a charity for that. And some of the things that I hear so many times, again and again and again, and that is, I've got no hope. There's no hope. What have I got now to look forward to? I don't see a future. And it's something that I sadly do hear. And if I talk about myself, because I am present in my story, that hope was something that I could not see after losing my son. I thought, well, what does this mean? I don't get it. I feel as if my past, my past life up until this moment has all been a lie. Nothing makes sense. Everything I thought about the future and I thought was going to be in my future, it no longer really makes sense. And so much of that future has disappeared along with my son. So what is my future going to look like? What is this hope? What have I got to look forward to now? So there's all these things, and and it's all a natural response to the loss of losing somebody, losing a loved one. And these are all natural symptoms of grief. But slowly, I also have shared that I did come to this fork in the road, if you like, where I had two choices. Either I give in and say, that's it, that's me, finished. I can't see a life now going forward. Nothing makes any sense. What is the point of anything? And I'm just going to do nothing. And I'm just going to wait until I die, wait until I leave this world also. But the other option was, maybe this is an opportunity. I can't bring my son back. I can't change that. That's something that's completely out of my control. But something that is in my control, and it'll take effort, but something that is in my control is that I can do something in his name, in his memory, leave some kind of legacy in his name, in my name. And then that then for me felt that it will have been a more meaningful life. I did something while I was here, and in my son's name, because my son was only here for 22 years. He hadn't even found himself, never let alone done anything in the world where he felt, he might have done something for others. I think, moving forward, he might have, because I think he was a lovely human being. But I think he hadn't even really realized what it is that he wanted to do in his life himself. So I don't think he'd got to that, and he wasn't given that opportunity. But I do have an opportunity, so that's what I've decided to do. So losing hope is something that I absolutely did experience, and I think a lot of us do when we lose all hope. And I see it because I work with people in mental health. When I'm counselling, I obviously come into contact with people who have been suicidal. And when someone is suicidal, they don't have any hope. They've lost hope. There's no reason for them, as they see it, to get up in the morning. So they don't see any point to anything anymore in life. But then there's one reason, isn't there? There's one reason that keeps somebody here, stops them from taking their own life, let's say. And that thing is hope. It's a reason for them to stay. Okay, and that may be, so when I am counselling, supporting women, I think a little while ago, about a month ago, I was actually, I had a client who was actually having suicidal thoughts. And so what I needed to do is pinpoint, what is it that's going to keep that person with us? Yeah, and to question that, and to allow that person to sort of have a conversation and carry on talking, and then we get to a point, and that's called really the turning point of what it is that's stopping that person from taking their own life, and that is hope. That is something that they hold on to. And with this particular person, it was, she had a son, she had a child, she had a husband, and there were people that she didn't want to leave. And another thing was that she had faith. A faith can keep somebody here too. A faith can very much give people hope, because your belief may be that you're going to see your loved one again, in heaven, or however you think it. And that's not really important how you think it, is that you have that belief. And hope is a belief, isn't it? It's an optimistic belief. So it's a very good thing. I myself feel that way, having hope that I'm going to see my son again, that I'm going to see my parents again, and others that I've loved and lost, is something that's the driving force in my life. And it'll hopefully keep me going until the day I leave this world, whenever that is, because I don't know. So hope is it's a real thing, and it's something that we need to, hold on to when we do find what it is. For me, it was, I need to help others. I need to, in my son's name, I started a charity in his name. As I say, I volunteer for a charity where I counsel women who have also lost children. This YouTube channel, now this is something really new. It's only been 5 weeks, I think, 6 weeks since I started it, since I started actually posting anything on it. I've thought about it before, a year or so ago, but created a channel and then deleted it, thinking I'm not going to actually do it, because this is not easy to do. This is actually putting yourself out of your comfort zone. It's to sort of I think show the world your the vulnerable side of yourself isn't something that's easy to do. But I also thought that in this day and age, it's very difficult to be shy and to hide yourself away and try and do some good in the world. And that is the driving force for this channel, is to try and help others. There isn't any other, undermining, other reason. There's no other reason to it. So yeah, I will go on to sharing, if this channel ever becomes, monetized and I'm actually earning some money from it, as to what I'm going to be doing with that money. I'm going to share that as well, because, that's being honest and open is what I believe in doing, and that's what I'm going to do. So, but I'm so far away from that. I don't even have to think about that at the moment, because I've hardly got anybody actually watching the videos to start off with. I need that, and that's hope. That's something that gets me doing this again and again and again, is the hope that I will build a community. I will, have something that I can be proud of, that I can say, well, I've created this, even with my lack of knowledge, with my digital lack of knowledge. I don't edit anything. I don't, it's just, I put the camera on and I speak and I say what I want to say, and I speak my mind. I don't edit anything. And that doesn't mean to say I'm never going to learn how to edit or learn how to do this or that. It's fine, but my content isn't really about me showing off my digital expertise. I'm not doing that, because I'm not skilled in that anyway. It's about sharing what I want to share with the world. And for you out there who's maybe feeling lonely and feeling alone in your grief or with your mental health struggles, it's really that. It's really trying to build a community. That's my hope. So what does hope mean for you? What does it look like? Are you feeling as if I've lost hope? And if it is, then let's talk about it. Let's see, if we can come up with something together. So don't struggle alone is what I want to say. So that's all I wanted to share in this video, all about hope. And if you find hope, keep hold of it, because hopefully it will manifest into something bigger, and it will start giving you something back and start showing that, what you're doing does make a difference, does help others. That's really what I want to get to with this, because at the moment, I'm not getting anything back at all. I'm just putting my time and effort into just throwing it into a lake, if you like, not seeing anything back, hardly at all. There's been a few people that have subscribed, and I'm so grateful for you for subscribing. There's been a few comments, but nothing really meaningful, nothing where we can get a conversation going. So I would really like that too. So that's what I'm hopeful for. I'm hopeful for my charity that I've started in my son's name. I've got some ideas with that, long-term hopes and goals. Hopefully I get to that. But for this channel, I've got some hope as well. So I'm gonna carry on and keep hold of that hope, because I feel that there's potential here to create something meaningful, and that's another hope. So thank you for listening. Please do share if you found this. If you feel that the content of this video might be helpful for others, do share it, do comment. I would like to, for you to share about what your hopes and dreams are and goals are in life. And if you're not feeling so hopeful, I'd like you to share and comment about that. And let's see if we can, put our heads together and come up with some things. That would be wonderful. Please do subscribe, because we need numbers here in order to build this community. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, look after your hearts and souls. Thank you.